And we are live. Welcome to Cup of Tea and Case Studies for this next edition. How are we all? How are we all? How are the exams going? I believe it was English literature today if you're a GCSE student, and then A-levels, sociology, lots going on there. Hopefully your exams are going well. Hit us up in the comments, say hello, see who's in the chat. We always like to see who's joining us on a Monday evening for a bit of geography revision, light-hearted fun, and get you ready for that paper 2 exam that is coming up pretty soon. 5th of June is the next one, isn't it, in GCSE geography? Yeah, so I'll just move that out of the way there. Yeah, so we're excited for that one. What's going on there with that? There we go. So we're very much excited for that. And yeah, let's see who is in the chat, guys. Hit us up in the comments, say hello. And yeah, I'm really excited about today's because we're going to look at tourism and holidays. Makes you happy, doesn't it? Thinking about the beach and stands and having an ice cream and just enjoying life, making the best of life. Yeah, so we're going to look at tourism in Jamaica today. So yeah, let's see who's in there. Big hello to our moderators. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us and being here for the live stream. And James, an OG regular, thanks for joining as well. Really appreciate you dropping in for the live stream tonight, James. Really good. And Laura is also on our live stream today. You are awesome, Laura. Thank you for joining us. And I'll tell you a little bit why I've chosen Jamaica. So I think there is a high possibility that on the 5th of June, you're going to be asked about tourism and how tourism can help countries to develop economically. So that's the reason for the chosen case study tonight. So how's things going? How are your exams going? Let us know. Pretty pleased with it. Are you pleased with how things are going so far? Yeah, and let us know. Anyway, let's have a look what you need for the live stream. So you will need, let's have a little look. Here we go. Share my screen. There we are, guys. So obviously for our active live streams, you are going to need a few bits and bobs, coloured crayons, a highlighter, a pen, and a little ruler, because obviously there's a lot of colour and drawings and things like that. All helps with the memory. So make sure you've got yourself kitted out, ready for our live stream tonight. Make sure you got all your equipment ready. We've had somebody else jump on, Shania. Good to see you, Shania. Thanks for joining us on the Monday night live stream for Cup of Tea and Case Studies. As I say, yeah, really excited for this one, guys. Hit that thumbs up if you haven't. And yeah, what you're drinking and what you're eating to get you through this little bit of revision, let us know. Let us know. What a gorgeous evening as well. It's lovely and sunny at the moment. It's really nice. Enjoying the nice weather. Well, it is Cup of Tea and Case Studies, so there's no surprise that we've got a cup of tea, guys, on standby. Have a little slurp of that. Really good. I hope you're going to participate lots in tonight's live stream. I'll be asking loads and loads of questions. So yeah, hit us up with the answers in the chat. Get involved as well. And oh, we've got another visitor, Abigail. Good to see Abigail. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us. What are you having? What are you drinking? What's your biscuit of choice? Here's mine. Gone for yeah, pretty nice they, aren't they? They look delish, absolutely delish. Chocolate Fox's biscuits. You know what happens, guys, though? I always have some biscuits, but I never have time to eat them, do I, on the live stream? I always have to eat them afterwards. But yeah, what are you getting? What are you eating to get you through your revision? And welcome to Killer. Thanks for joining us, Killer. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us on the live stream tonight. All holiday vibes. I should wear my Caribbean shirt, shouldn't I? I haven't got one of them, but yeah, that would have been a bit better, wouldn't it, for that? And Amaze, thanks for joining us, Amaze. Good man, really appreciate that. Yo, Riley Flips. Yes, nice one to see you, Riley. Thanks for it. I'm at the gym. Riley's at the gym, so he's not doing his geography case study. Fair enough, but he's dropped in. He's having a little listen whilst he's doing. What is it today? Is it back, legs, arms? What are you doing at the gym, Riley? apart from listening to me talking about Jamaica. Keep listening whilst you're on that cross trainer running. You get that bit of geography in. And hey, shout out to Lucas and Ren. Oh, and Hermes is also at the gym. Oh, wow, all the boys are at the gym here. Get it on. Make sure you're listening to it live. I'll help you work out as well. I think you had flapjack once before, didn't you, James? I'm sure you did. What a choice. I love a bit of flapjack. Thanks for the hearts, guys, in the chat. Appreciate that. It all helps the channel, which is fantastic. We are going to get started in about 30 seconds, so make sure you've got your equipment ready, and we'll get going with tonight's live stream. Really excited for this one. Me and Ren are at the gym with him. Yep. So there's a bit of a crowd of you there, and you've tuned into the live stream, so thanks for that. Yeah, dedication, guys. Dedication. Really appreciate that. And you guys you'll learn this case study in year 11 as well. So this is one that you'll need in year 11 for your exams. And especially if it doesn't come up in 2024, you're definitely going to need this in 2025 because it's long overdue, Jamaica tourism. So I think it's time to get started. Are we ready, guys? Hopefully we are. And yeah, I think it's time to get started. So where does it fit in? So if you study AQA geography, this is a case study for question 2, economic world, and it's how countries use tourism as a way of economically developing and improving quality of life for the people that live in those countries. And it's really positive overall. Lots of positives can come from tourism, and we'll explore those in today's live case study. So that's the context. Let's get started then, guys. So we're going to have, here we go, with our little title. I'm just going to zoom you in now so you're a little bit closer to the top of the page. For those that are doing it along live in the chat. So it's going to be called Reducing the Development Gap. Reducing the Development Gap. And it's a specialist case study on tourism, which is holidays in Jamaica. What a place that is. So that is our title, guys. It's a key case study. I always like to have my little stars on there at the top when it's a case study because it means it's really important. And again, this could be a 9-mark question. There are 9-mark questions in this section if you are an AQA geographer as well. So there we have it. That's what we're going to look at first. So we're going to start with drawing a little outline of Jamaica. So here we go. Let's just try and get my artistic skills going and get a little outline map. So I always draw in pen. I'll just try and get the accurate shape here as much as possible. Here we go. I'm going to do it quite big. Yeah. Yeah, that's rough for the shape, guys. that is the kind of shape that we've got there for Jamaica. And we're going to add a few features on here as well. Some really important places in Jamaica. Then we'll have a little look at where it is and its location geographically. So the first place, we're going to go to the capital city down here. So hit us up in the chat. Who knows the name of the capital city in Jamaica? Have we got anybody who knows? It's called Kingston. Kingston is the capital city of Jamaica. So I'll put Kingston in. It's down in the kind of coastal southeast corner of the island. Then probably one of the most famous places is up in the north, up here, which is, here we go, we've got Montego Bay. Very famous for its beaches. Montego Bay. Where's Miss Sandy? Here we go. It says Montego Bay. That's in the northwest of the island. And we're also going to add a rainforest. It's got a very Beautiful rainforests in Jamaica. I mean, even just sat here talking about this makes me want to go. So it's in the center of the island. It's got its rainforest, and they're called Cockpit County. That's the name of the tropical rainforest. And again, that could be a possible reason why, or some of the reasons why people like to visit the island. So I think, well, let's get a little palm tree on Montego Bay, because that's what it's famous for. It's beaches and it's palm trees and it's, there we go. That's our palm tree, guys. It's your classic kind of blue waters, crystal clear waters, and beautiful sandy beaches. So there is our island. So we're going to add a bit more detail in to our particular island. But before we do that, let's have a little look at its location. So we're going to go to the top left-hand corner. So where is Jamaica, guys? Whereabouts is it located? Who can tell me its location? So we're going to put a little subheading, location, up here. There we go. How do I get there, guys? How do I get to Jamaica? Where is it? Where is Jamaica? Still waiting. People obviously very focused on the drawing. So it is a Caribbean. It's a Caribbean island. Yeah, which also means it's in the Caribbean Sea, or the Caribbean. Some people call it the Caribbean, don't they? The Caribbean Sea. There we go. So it's a Caribbean island, the Caribbean Sea. You can only get there by boat and plane. So all tourists generally arrive either by cruise ship. Let's just focus you in. Oops, sorry guys. Focus you in. Either by cruise ship or by plane. That's the only ways to get there. And it's a tropical island. It's located between the Tropic of Cancer. Yeah, so it's a tropical island. Yeah, and I believe it's the second largest island as well in the Caribbean. That's its geographical location between, so it's tropical island between Cancer and Capricorn. Yeah, between the Tropic of Cancer and the Tropic of Capricorn. So that's the location. There we are. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a little look at what Jamaica used to be like in the past. So we'll go this way and look at its kind of past, and then look at its now and how it's developed tourism and some of its attractions. We might be adding to its map as well. So if we go back in time, yeah, we go back in time and we look at the past first. What should we do that? Where's purple? There we go. So we're going to go back in time and look at its history. Anybody know anything about its past? Have we got anything about its past? So it used to be, there we go, we need to draw a Union Jack, guys. It used to be part of the British Empire. So it was British colony up until quite recently, guys. Yeah, it was part of the British Empire. 1962 is when it left. So let's get the British Union Jack. There we go. That's as best as that. There we go. There we go. There's the Union Jack, guys. It was pretty messy, but we'll go with that. So part of the British Empire, one of the colonies, providing resources to the empire, things like rum and stuff like that. It's also tied up in the slave trade, and in the past, it was very much an LIC, which is a low-income country. It was pretty much held in that status during the British Empire, but it did gain independence. So let's put a little smiley face, because I'm sure that's a good feeling when you gain independence. Get the sovereign rights of your country back. It gained independence. Oh, there we go. Sorry, guys. Independence. That's a P, not a D. Independence in 1962. Fantastic. At that point, Jamaica was very much an agricultural country. So it's very much relying on its agriculture as its main exports. So it had agriculture as its main centre of its economy in the past. And it had very much a primary product economy. That's a key term, guys, primary product economy. So this is countries that mainly export primary goods, things like food products, minerals, energy. In this case, it was agriculture. And the things that they exported was in large numbers. So its main exports in the past, and still somewhat today, was sugar. Who doesn't like a little bit of sugar? Just gonna have a little bit. There's none in my tea, but there's definitely some in my biscuits. But yeah, sugar was one of the things that it was exporting. In fact, maybe we should put exports here, because that's a key word that you can talk about. The things with primary-based economies, guys, is that the value is done through the processing. So in the secondary sector, so once it's made into something. So if you turn the sugar into a product, it adds great value to that as well. So sugar is not on its own very valuable. They also had oil exports, which is far more valuable. So there is oil. So there its main kind of exports when it had its primary based economy. Now, that was made really challenging to export these goods when colonial rule was in place, because, there we go, I'm going to put here, exports were disrupted. Okay, the exports were disrupted for two reasons. The first one being, that's just going to be like that's a disease cell. There you go. So the exports were disrupted because of plant disease or crop disease. And as well, thinking about the timing, in the 1940s, there was also conflict as well going on. World War I, World War II, and that did really impact on the export of Jamaica's agricultural products. So there's my little tank, guys. Let me just raise you up. There you go. So this is all the challenges that the economy faced in Jamaica. Largely primary product-based economy, often generating low wealth for the country. And that the other challenges were that many crops got diseases, and trade was impacted by World War II. Okay, there you go. So lots and lots of issues growing around the economy during British colonial rule. One of its main exports, not that you'll know what this is because you don't drink yet, is rum. Jamaican rum. That's supposed to be a bottle of rum. There we go. So it's very famous for its rum. If you go to Jamaica on holiday, when you're old enough, you might sample a bit of the Jamaican rum. But it has got rum as part of its export industry, and that is part of its secondary. So using its sugars to make rum makes it a more valuable export. So secondary industry. And it started to export rum. I haven't got any facts about that. I don't know how much rum it exports. If anybody can find out from me in the chat, guys, just let me know. But rum was one of its exports. So how did that leave? How has that left Jamaica in the past? Let's kind of just pull it all together. It led to high unemployment generally because the trade was all being disrupted. So Jamaica was left in a situation in 1960s with very high unemployment and, unfortunately, which you don't want to get into in life, guys, a lot of debt. These are little dollar signs on that. So this is why it was struggling economically to develop. There we go. So it's got its debt, massive amounts of debt, and it had to do something. It had to change its economic approach and its economic policy to try and improve things. So there you go. There's a little bit about where it is and the backstory to Jamaica's economy. Now it's time to look at present day and how tourism has helped this country develop. So quick sip of tea and we're going to move on. So let's have a look, go back to our little map here and zoom in on this bit. So there we go. So let's start with the divide. Many countries have an economic divide. Jamaica's no different. In fact, it's very similar to the UK in the sense that it's got a north-south divide, economic divide. So we're going to put that into our island. So it has a north-south economic divide. So south economic divide. And despite the capital being in the south, the southern area is much poorer. That's a dollar sign. Remember, we use dollars as our global currency. And the north is much richer. There we got our big dollar sign. There we go. So the north is generally wealthier than the south. Just to give you a fact about that, here's our Jamaican. And 16% of people in the south live in poverty. Less than $2 a day, according to the United Nations. So they're living on less than $2 a day. 16% of the people in the south live on $2 a day. The north is far more connected in terms of accessibility. It has the airport in the north as well. So it's got infrastructure in the north. That's an airport, guys. There we go. So it's got an airport in the north. So it's far more accessible. It also has much better road networks in the north as well. Far more connectivity. And a lot of the investment So a lot of foreign, so money from overseas, direct investment goes into the north of the island. I'm going to put that in my highlighter, guys. FDI, it's called, foreign direct investment. Money from overseas into businesses. A lot of it goes into the north of the island. So, with its beautiful rainforest, crystal clear, let's get a little bit of crystal clear blue waters around it. Crystal clear waters, coral reefs, and anybody who knows me knows how much I love a coral reef. It's got all the attributes to be a tourist destination. So that's kind of what it did. And one of its main attributes, just going to put this up here, is its sun. Now, I know, guys, we've been treated to some sun here in the UK recently, but Jamaica gets way more sun than we do, and you'd love it here. You know, a 30-degree temperature is not unusual in this part of the world. Perfect for laying on a beach, eating ice creams and having a swim. But on average, it gets 8 hours per day. 8 hours per day of sunshine. Wow. I've got some other little stats I can share with you about sunshine in Jamaica. It has 3,000 hours a year, and 68% of all days, 68% of all days are sunny days. Imagine that, eh? 68% of the days are nice and sunny. So it's got its natural environment, which is really beneficial. In fact, let's put some coral in up here. Yeah, we've got our coral reefs. There we go. Yeah, we've got our rainforests, our beautiful sandy beaches. We've got our year-round sunshine. It has everything that that tourists are looking for, and can really benefit from that. So let's have a little look at how then it's used in its tourism. So we're going to put here some facts about the growth of tourism. So post 1970, 70s, and we've got the growth of tourism in Jamaica. Just remember, guys, the only way to get here is by aeroplane or by cruise ship, which we'll have to put a little cruise ship on here. And then we've got its growth of tourism. There you go. Sorry, I didn't move it over there. We've got the growth of tourism in Jamaica. And this has really helped in many ways to improve Jamaica's economy today. So let's have a few facts. Now, in 20% of Jamaica's GDP, gross domestic product, Jamaica's gross domestic product comes from tourism. So 1/5 or 20% of Jamaica's income is generated through tourism. Fantastic contribution. So without tourism, 20% of Jamaica's income would be lost. Okay, and that was in 2022. So up-to-date statistics here, guys. So 20%. So we could do with a little money bag up here as well again. Always draw a lot of money bags on these case studies, don't we? There we go. There's our little dollar sign. There's our money bag. Yeah, that's absolutely brilliant. Tourism at the moment is growing at quite a good rate. It's growing at 4.6% growth per year, which is fantastic. It's a part of the economy that is seeing significant growth. There we go. 4.6% growth per year, which is really good for any economic growth. And obviously the amount of money then is increasing. what else we get is, let's just show some tourists. People visit. There we go. They're all really happy because they're on holiday. Little suitcase. There we go. He's carrying a suitcase. And Jamaica in 2022 had 3.7 million visitors in 2022. Fantastic amount of people visiting the island on a holiday, spending money, usually from the developed world, in this case, into the developing world. And this tourism has all helped to generate huge amounts of wealth. So let's have a, so it's actually generated around about 400,000. Oh, sorry, wait a minute. 4.7, sorry, 4.1 billion. Apologies. 4.1 billion in tourism income. So it's a lot of money coming from tourism. And to add to that, it's created a huge amount of jobs as well with that income. So now, if you look at Jamaica, it's actually a middle income country. So it's classed as a middle income, not the poorest anymore. Middle income country. So I'm going to put that in. Yeah, in our green pen. It's a middle income country now. Helped through tourism. 20% of GDP, 4.6% growth, millions of visitors visiting each year. And it's all generated huge amounts of wealth for income as well. So what we're going to do now, guys, we're just going to finish off down here and look at the positives and negatives. I've got this big space at the bottom here. So I'm just going to divide this space up into positives and negatives. Yeah. For our case study card. And then we will have finished our revision. So we're going to look at positive impacts of the tourism over here over time. Obviously, I've kind of talked about some positives in terms of wealth there, and then we're going to have a little look at the negative impacts. And what we'll also try and do is look at if they're social, economic, or environmental as well. So here are our negative impacts. Yeah. Right, let's have a little look then. So let me have a sip of tea. If you've got any ideas, what are the positive impacts of tourism in Jamaica? How has tourism helped the island of Jamaica, or the economy, or the people? What do you think? And we'll try and think of as many positives as we can. Hit us up in the chat, guys. Let us know. We're going to put our little positives in here. Positives of tourism. Okay, let's go for the first one then. It has increased tax revenues for the government. Yeah. Because now over 200,000 people, Jamaicans, are employed in tourism. People employed in tourism. Wow. So many of those will be working in the hotels, the restaurants, doing trips, excursions, and that's all helped with creating lots and lots of jobs for people. These jobs are mainly in the tertiary sector. So maybe we should add that as well. I want to try and do 4 of each. Tertiary sector employment. Okay, and that is a economic benefit. So we're going to put, there we go, there's our economic. So an economic benefit there. Now, with that tax money, The government, this is our next positive, the government invested in infrastructure such as airports, roads, electricity, water, and the internet. Now, obviously, when you go on holiday, you expect water and internet and all of those good things. So obviously, when the government have that extra tax revenue, they put those things in place. They build those things for the tourists as well, which is absolutely brilliant. And they get to benefit from, all of those wonderful features. So with all that money coming in, that extra revenue and that extra spending, we've got the multiplier effect. Everything starts to improve. People are richer. Jamaicans are richer. They go out and spend in shops and services, and that money just flows around the economy, and the whole area benefits. So again, we've got economic. Try and remember, guys, the multiplier effect, where one positive impact on the economy affects other areas of the economy positively as well. The flow of money and the wealth being generated through tourism. It's absolutely fantastic. So we've got the multiplier effect as well. What else have we got? Okay, let's add one more then. Go for 4. And add, let me think. Improvements in quality of life. Improvements in quality of life. So things like healthcare's improved. The island's now got better hospital facilities because these need to be there for the tourists, so therefore they're there for the locals, which has led to increase in life expectancy. So the average Jamaican now lives longer because of improved sanitation, water supplies, and that's all helped with improvements in healthcare as well. All that money is been used to spend on helping the tourists, but also, more importantly, reinvestment back into Jamaica for the local Jamaican people. Absolutely fantastic. Also, we've seen that things like education levels have improved for locals because of increased spending by governments as well. There we go, got increased improvements in education. However, so that's a social one. Let's put that on there. So mainly, as you can see, the positive impacts generally are economic and social development. Okay, a lot of the positives there are social positives or economic positives. Okay. Now let's have a little look at the negative impacts. Have you managed to get those down? There you go. Let's have a look at the negative impacts then. We are nearly there, guys. So I'll try and do 4 negative impacts of tourism. And let's have a little look then. Now, the first one I want to do is about cruise tourism. So many people who visit the Caribbean visit on a cruise ship. However, this is not usually the best way for the economy to benefit. Okay, so cruise tourism is very popular, but on a cruise holiday, you have all your food, all your drink, all your accommodation actually on the cruise ship, and therefore, when you get to the island, you're less likely to spend your money on food and drink when you can do that on the cruise ship. So cruise tourism is actually less spending on the island, so it's less beneficial. So the average cruise tourist to which they get around about 1.1 million cruise tourists. They spend on average per day $70 per day, which is not as much as people who actually fly out there and stay in the hotels. The people that stay on the island, those people, on average, let's put island stayers here. Island stayers. The people that stay on the island, on average, they are spending far more money at $120 per day. And that all goes back into the economy. And it really then helps to accelerate those positive impacts. So cruise tourism does bring money into the economy, but not as much as the long stay island holidaymakers who bring far more in. So Jamaica wants to see more of the island visitors rather than the cruise tourists, as I say. So that's kind of a negative because there is a lot of island tourists in terms of cruise tourism, but there's slightly more people that stay on the island. About 2.5 million people actually stay there as their main holiday destination long term. So let's have a little look at the negatives. First negative is that many of the jobs are low paid. So that employment tends to be low paid, low skilled. Low paid, low skilled jobs. Many of the kind of managerial jobs, so like the hotel manager, the tour manager, are often people from the wealthier economies, maybe people from the US who go and work out there. So it's slightly different. So wealthier jobs given to outsiders. Yeah. And the local Jamaicans tend to do the kind of changing the linen, serving at the bar, which is always generally the lower paid employment on the island. So it's not always favouring them. Okay, some other negative impacts we've got is increased carbon emissions from things like aircraft flying in, cruise ships, tour buses, all of that, which obviously then leads to climate change, because CO2 in the atmosphere increases global temperatures. That's not to mention the air pollution, which would affect the health of residents, and the noise of all this stuff. Obviously, you've got the environmental noise and you've got the increased carbon emissions. So this one is an environmental negative. Our first one is an economic negative. So let's just put that in. Squeeze it on. But this one is an environmental negative because we've got things like noise and emissions from vehicles. In fact, let's just write noise there. There we go. Increased noise and emissions from vehicles. So we've got two more to do, guys. We're nearly there. I've got an amazing case study again. You guys have been absolutely awesome. Don't forget to hit that like button as well if you've enjoyed today's video. I'm going to put here pressure on fragile ecosystems. So Cockpit County rainforest, Montego Bay, the coral reefs. As tourists go and visit those in bigger numbers, it puts huge amounts of pressure on the ecosystem. Pressure on the ecosystem, damage caused to coral reefs. Yeah. Things like the anchors from the cruise ships could damage the coral reefs. yeah, and all that sort of things that we don't really want happening. The beauty of the Jamaica Island will be damaged if tourism is not sustainably managed. And that's something that it does need to do in the future. I think maybe we can put that there. I think in the future, it should really try to grow its ecotourism sector in the economy. So that is its future, I would say. If it's going to carry on making money from tourism, perhaps going down the route that Costa Rica and places like that have gone, and trying to develop that educational side of tourism, restricting perhaps numbers, but maybe being a bit more premium on the price rather than having mass tourism to the island. So increase pollution levels and things like that as well. Let's go for one more, then we need to squeeze one more negative. A lot of the negatives, as you can see, are environmental impacts. So if you want to grow your economy, sometimes improving social and economic development is often at the cost of the environment and the environmental development. The next one, or the last one, profits often leave Jamaica and return to HICs, e.g. USA and UK. So a lot of the tour companies like TUI, you've probably heard of TUI in the UK, that's a transnational corporation. It's a global business. You pay for your cruise holiday with TUI, or you pay for your overnight holiday, your kind of week stay holiday with TUI. A lot of that money that you then use will go back to, I believe it's Germany, actually, TUI now. It's a company, so you spend your money, it doesn't stay in Jamaica, it actually goes back to countries like the USA, UK, and perhaps Germany as well with our TUI tourism. So it doesn't stay actually in the economy. However, it's without doubt tourism has significantly helped Jamaica and Jamaicans improve and develop economically. Quality of life's improved, education levels have improved, vast amounts of money and wealth has been generated. Don't forget that multiplier effect, the knock-on impacts of more money, government investment, healthcare, education, infrastructure projects, road, rail, sanitation all help with that. But it is largely at the cost of the environment, and we've seen there massive, just add that there, economic negatives and environmental negatives. I've not even mentioned perhaps conflict with locals and tourists. Maybe we can squeeze that. Can we squeeze that one in, guys? Let's just try and squeeze it in here. Conflict between tourists and locals. So obviously, if you're on holiday, enjoying yourself and just doing what you do on holiday, locals might not, locals that aren't in the tourism industry might not want you on the island. They might see it as a negative. So I'm going to put here conflict between tourists and locals. And that's something that you can unpick as well. So the people, maybe like retired people, they're not working, they don't really see the benefit of tourism directly. So they don't perhaps want the tourists, or anybody who's not involved in the tourism industry might not want that in their sector. Some people that would want it, though, is people that are growing agricultural products, because that could be used in the hotels and things that are built as well. So that actually is a nice link. So there you have it, guys. Let me just zoom out. Wow, super happy with that. There's a lot on there again, like usual. I'm just trying to get it in a perfect position for you there. So much going on in Jamaica. There's no doubt that tourism has really boosted Jamaica's economy post 1970. It's gone from a low-income country now to a middle-income country. It's brought many largely economic benefits, but as I say, at the cost of environmental sustainability. And perhaps in the future, it needs to look more at ecotourism or developing that sector, its economy as well. But lots of potential, and Jamaica would be a fantastic place to go on holiday. So there you have it, guys. Yeah, if you haven't hit that like button, hit that like button. It does really help the channel, and it pushes the video out to other geographers that love these case studies as well. And you're going to be well prepared if a question comes up about how tourism helps countries to develop and close that gap. I mean, look at that. If that was a 9 marker, you've got everything that you could potentially need there to answer that question to a very high level. Yeah, and if you can share the video, we'd love that. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. We are not here next Monday. It's bank holiday Monday next Monday. So we aren't here next Monday. So have a lovely bank holiday if I don't see you. And then we'll be back on the 3rd of June for a case study just before the exam on the 5th of June. So any final words, guys, before we dash off? Let's just get rid of that one. Yeah, thank you, James, for joining us. Really appreciate that. Hopefully your case study looks super nice. I'm well happy with that. Well happy. You're probably not coming out on video very well, but yeah. There we go. Well happy with that. How's yours gone? Let us know. Thanks for the hearts, whoever's heart in the chat. Really appreciate that, guys. You're amazing. Thanks, James. Take care. Goodbye. Shania, awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate you joining us for that case study. And we're going to wrap it up. Bye-bye, guys. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Take care. All the best.